And welcome to Intro to C. I'm Bill, and in today's video we're going to be learning about conversion characters within printf. So in printf at the moment we have learned how to write a string and how to print that to the screen. But that's quite restrictive because we actually have to know exactly what we have written before we can print it. So how do we write other pieces of information that we may not know? And the way we do that is using conversion characters, or like places where we can substitute other things into it. So if we write our printf statement again, I'm going to put a semicolon at the end so I don't forget, and then open up our text. I'm going to write %s. Now this % sign in printf, and only in printf, is a special symbol saying the stuff after this printf here. It says, okay, this is a substitution, and we're going to substitute in a string. So %s means this is going to be a substitution for a string. And I'm going to write is amazing. So some substitution is amazing. And I'm going to put a new line as well. And again, printf is a very special function because we can add multiple different parameters to it. So to add another parameter to this function, we put a comma as if we were writing a list. And then we write another string we could do. So this is our another string, and we're going to write Bill is amazing, because I'm Bill, and yeah, of course, it's a bit vain, but doesn't matter. So now if we're going to run this program, you might be able to guess what it says. Bill is amazing. Pretty good so far, right? And if you wanted to put another word in there, we could get rid of amazing and put %s to put substitution here for our string. These are all the text, as we call it. I'm going to put a comma after this text or string, whatever you want to call it, a string of characters, a text. And I'm going to say is awful. Oh, that's not very nice, is it? Let's run that. It says Bill is awful. Oh well. You can't win always, can you? But you can see what it's done. It says this first parameter substitute into the first substitute thing here. And then this parameter substitute for the next one. So if we swapped these round, so we had awful before we had Bill, it's going to put awful first, then Bill second. Yeah? So it says awful is Bill. So now we've learned how to actually substitute different text in it. So why is this useful? Well, you may have the text stored somewhere else in your program, but it may be modified and change mutably. It might change within your program, or you don't even know what it is because it's something else. So it's very useful to see what's happening. Now we can use stuff other than strings or these text, if you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to create another printf, and we're going to print out some numbers. So to do a normal number, you might have been able to guess the next parameter you can use as a number. So I'm going to use 1337 as a random number, and to show the substitution or the character conversion that we're going to use is for a number is %d. Now the reason why it's d is it means it's a decimal. This is a decimal integer or a whole number. So if we do this now, and I'm going to say is an elite number. That's what I'm going to guess. So 1337 is an elite number. And hey presto, it substituted it in. So this %d says 1337. You substitute the number in, it says is an elite number. So that's good. If I want another number in there, so I get rid of this text and write another number, I could do %d. I could put another one in. So I could go 444. And then just run it again, build and run. It says 1337 space 444. Very useful, isn't it? Good. And again, I've got the new line characters on the end of my printfs. So I might also want to say, I might want to make this into like some sort of list. So I'm going to put a colon, and then I'll put a name in there. So this will be some string. So I'm going to put Bill, and it'll be 1337 colon space Bill. So this will be very good for printing out tables or even just information within your program. We'll be using this throughout to see the code. So what if you wanted to print not an integer, but you wanted to do one with it has a fractional part, a decimal part to it? Well, in C, they use something called floating point numbers. This allows us to have a decimal point within a number. So the way you write that is it's f. Now %f means a floating point. So if a floating point number is some number with, I don't know, a decimal point in it, or even an integer, it's going to be a real number in a sense if you want to be mathematically correct. I could write 3.14, whatever is it after that, 59? I don't know much decimal places to buy. And I'm going to put semicolon at the end of the statement. So it's going to use this number here in this argument, and then the first substitution it's found, it's an f, so it's a floating point. So f5, you can see what the numbers are. We've got Billy's awful, 1337 colon Bill, and then 3.145900. So there you go, you've got a number printed out. But what if you only want the first or the last, how many decimal places you want? You want 2 decimal places. So what you do in C, and well, printf at least, is after the % sign you put a .2, and this .2 says after the decimal point you're allowed 2 more characters. That's all you're allowed, 2 more numbers. So if we run this again with F5, build and run, you'll notice it goes to 3.15, because 3.14 is actually 15, isn't it? I don't know numbers. Pi makes more mistakes. It's better. Pi is about 3, right? 3.14. So it's rounded up as well for us. Very good. So you please go search online and research for yourself all the different kind of parameters printf can use when we've learned about different data types. So stay tuned for the next episode, and as always, have fun programming and literally experiment for yourself. If you have any questions, please write in the comments below. Either I or someone else will try and help you. So thank you for watching and enjoy yourself.